Hey everyone. So we decided to start a live series and a podcast all about building online businesses. Each week, I'll be interviewing independent business owners, creators, side hustlers, and talking about cool tools out there to help you profit from your passion. For the first few weeks, I'll be catching up with the amazing set of speakers and partners that we have on board for our Rethink Summit happening this August 4th through 6th. It'll be 3 days of inspiration, masterclasses, and workshops designed for anyone interested in getting that side hustle going or building that online business. So at HeySummit, we always believe in testing formats and ways of working. So this here is that test. As this is the first episode, I'd love your feedback about everything, the format, the questions, who you'd like me to talk to, my haircut for any of you on the live stream, you name it. So today, I'd love to welcome Marquesa Versola. Hopefully this is working and you can see her. She's an event producer, a musician, and a speaker who does all of these things while also having a full-time job and raising a family. She's based in Northern California and has been producing live events for 10 years and recently has been becoming more interested in virtual events. In addition to being an event manager and an artist, Marquesa is actually leading all the work involved with the Rethink Summit. So everything you see will be because of her hard work. Although, just to make sure that you know, the questionable graphics that you're seeing right now, all my fault. So don't blame her for that. So Marquesa, thanks so much for making the time to talk.
Thanks, Rob. This is exciting, and I love jumping into new formats, especially going out live and live streaming. This is a really fun jumping off point to talk about Rethink, and I'm excited to talk with you this morning.
Nice, awesome. So just to start off with, thinking of you as someone who has a full-time job but is also doing things on the side, how did you get into all of this? Like, what made you think, you know what, I'd like to flex a bit and try something else?
Really good question. And, I love my career. I've, as mentioned, been working in events for over 10 years. I work for an amazing company. And during COVID, it's been an opportunity to think about what we're passionate about and kind of what drives us creatively. And diving from the live event space into now supporting more virtual events, we've had to do a lot of deep digging and uncovering what tools best support these shifts from live to virtual. And in that pursuit, there's been a lot of uncovering of really cool tools. And being someone who is absolutely self-professed a tech geek, I found your company and you. And in that deep diving of uncovering cool tools and networking, I just found that it was a great time to start talking and using additional skills to do things that I'm passionate about. So that is how I got started. And once you and I met and were able to talk about what you guys were doing as a broader group at HeySummit, I felt that what you were working on was really compelling, and I just wanted to be a part of that
cool
new idea.
So when you're starting a side hustle, another project, what have you, it can be quite lonely, and there's a lot of motivation that's needed for you to feel like you are making progress. So I'd love to kind of understand what actually motivates you in terms of looking at these things that are outside of your normal job, and especially since you have a family that you're also looking after as well. What are those motivations? What drives that spark?
Thanks for asking. It's a really good question. I think right now people are asking themselves that question. I know I do a lot of fair work around what is motivating to me. And a good answer for you is just that I really want to serve in the world. I really want to provide a way of connecting people and helping them to find their purpose. As a musician, I've always been one to step up and stand in a spotlight and, share what's on my mind and give myself freely in a creative way. And the motivation comes when you're open to that, when you're open to giving freely and you're open to connecting with other people, and that you just want to share your light with others. And as a platform, I think that virtual events is the greatest way for us to connect with people all around the world. And I've met the brightest, most giving, talented, wonderful people in a short period of time. And that is a motivation enough to get up and stay up late, do the extra hours and get this kind of work done, because it means a lot. And I hope that our promise is we want to help change some lives and give people solid tools to build a business and grow something online that matters.
Yeah, that all rings true in terms of why we're building HeySummit, why we're trying to grow it. It's about understanding that, you know, if you have a passion, a lot of the things that you've talked about might sound a little naff to some people, you know, like, oh, I can't really make that difference. I'm inspired, but I don't know how to put that into action. But there are tools out there, and there are networks out there that you can get started with, and that you can do a lot of stuff that you can do on your own to be able to make that impact, a reality. Which I just love the way that you're putting it. In terms of like, how did you actually get started? Like, just getting into brass tacks. How did you come to the conclusion, you know what, I'd like to try and do this myself? You said you were a self-confessed tech geek. Like, how did you get started?
Well, I will say that, having this opportunity right now where we can think about what matters. We have a little extra time because we're maybe not commuting to and from work as much. We have a little bit more of isolated time to be able to focus. I started with thinking about what opportunities might be out there for me to get involved and to start helping other people. I thought about innovating because with the shift, obviously, in my industry of meeting face to face and now going online, what innovations and tools could I find that might be able to help amplify that? Where can I take my current knowledge and expand my skill set, making it better for me as a career person to help serve the organization and companies that I work for every day? How can I learn more during this time so that when we come back and we're back in full force, I'm even better than before? And then on top of that, my greatest goal is connecting people and growing a super network of amazing, talented people. And so, I got started in LinkedIn first and foremost, starting to build a network online, connecting with people who I thought were doing amazing things in the world, and opening up the door to have conversations. So it is just that simple. Like, what is the opportunity in front of you? Thinking about how you might innovate or learn something new, and then growing your network so that at the end of this, you end up stronger than before.
Cool. Great. And just again, getting to some specifics, like starting something on the side is a complex thing. And how do you and doing it with a family, no less. How do you manage your time? Are there certain like tips or tricks or processes or routines that are really valuable to you?
Thanks for asking that question, because as you can imagine, it is a big lift to create something like this. And I'm very focused on making sure that my career is, front and center for me. And I love what I do every single day. Being disciplined is incredibly important. And having time blocks has been great as a tool for staying not only focused, but keeping that productivity level. So I work really great at night. I write music at night. I write blog posts at night. I create all my best work at night. And so I found that finding that key hour or the key set of hours where you work best, and then really like creating a nice buffer around it and saying, okay, this is the time when I'm going to get my passion work done. If you are a full-time career person and you have, multiple things going on, really protecting your time and saying, I dedicate this time to get this task done is going to be the best way to set yourself up for success. I also think that knowing your tools and not complicating the process is a really great way to stay focused and organized. So I use a couple tools, including Airtable, which is one of my favorites, of course, to stay organized and on task. And then using collaborative tools so that you can communicate in real time, using things like Slack to connect so that you can get that work done quickly, and also just kind of consolidating and simplifying and keeping things very streamlined. Those are my top tips.
It's amazing what you're able to get yourself to do if you just happen to be passionate about what it is that you're doing. I think sometimes people just think, oh my gosh, there's just so much to do, I can never get it done. And yes, there is so much to do, but if you are passionate about it, that's the thing that will push you to at least make some progress on that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
caution, a little bit of forgiveness, self-forgiveness. And
Great stuff.
you have an entrepreneurial mindset, knowing that, we want to go as fast as possible. But I think leveraging a great team as well is a tip that I didn't say right out first and foremost. But, your team has been amazing. And really what I've been doing is just sort of helping to amplify what you're already doing. So leveraging a team if you can, even if you're not at that place when you're ready to onboard a team and start your own team, reaching out to your network and just saying, hey, I have this fun project I'm working on. Would you be willing or able to help me with this small piece? I mean, that's a really great way to get started as well. Building a little fire beneath you never hurts anyone. I mean, if you want to be the rocket ship, you have to have the flame to help catapult your idea. So build some people around yourself that can really help support you and move you forward as well.
If you want to build the rocket ship, you got to have the flame. I like that. Mm-hmm. And so I guess, like, just finally bringing it back to rethinking a bit, why online events? Like, why are they special?
Okay, so this goes back to just being a lover of technology, but I really believe that, we will gather again, and we will go back to large scale events. It is one of the largest tools that we have in in-person marketing and event marketing. But virtual is here to stay. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And in fact, it'll help amplify our abilities once we are able to meet face to face again. So I feel, as a proponent of virtual events, that now's the time we should learn what tools are out there. We should learn great strategies to not only be of service and share great content during this time, but also find deeper ways of creating connections online. So being a front runner and learning this technology and having a lot in your tool belt, so to speak, to help to further the conversations and networking and a great user experience online is why I think virtual events are so important right now. And as I started to mention, when we go back to meeting each other face to face, we'll be able to use this additional layer of interactivity online to further support our goals and mission. So just think about how wonderful it'll be to amplify an in-person event by giving additional access to those that maybe can't travel or afford to come to your event. It's just a way to reach more people, get your message more broadly spread, and really amplify what we're doing in person. So I'm a big proponent of virtual events, and I am so excited to learn what's coming next, because I think we're just at the tip. We're just starting to understand what we can do online and how we're going to create an incredible new industry in virtual events.
Cool. I mean, I've loved just learning a little bit more about that fire that motivates you. Obviously, working with you over the past couple of months, I've seen that firsthand. But I think the big takeaways from me in terms of what it is that you've been talking about are you having a motivation to want to develop more skills, and that skills are wider than just your career path, and being able to create something on the side that then also helps your full-time job is a net positive and a bonus. And I love the fact that I think that especially when COVID did happen, a lot of event organizers, like physical event organizers, were really confused and worried and concerned. And it does seem like there's this dichotomy of people who are sticking their head in the ground and thinking, it's just going to come back. It's just going to come back, versus those like you who are getting out there, learning how to do stuff with virtual, and then thinking beyond the end of the pandemic when you're talking about hybrid events, you're talking about other ways of utilizing the technology. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's super valuable.
Thank you, Rob. And I really appreciate leaders like yourself that are leading the charge and building tools and technologies that are going to support the event industry. And I really, I want to just put a shout out to HeySummit, because I feel that your tools, it's fantastic for creators. And really, what we're doing at Rethink is about sharing what HeySummit can do to support the individual that is building an online business or community. So I just want to say thanks to you for what you're doing to create something that's really relevant during this time. And it's been so fun to work with you.
No worries. So yeah, as we mentioned, as we're talking about, you're also leading on Rethink. So Marquesa, we're going to be announcing a whole bunch of new speakers over the next couple weeks. So there are a couple that maybe we could talk about now, I guess, and if you'd be up for that.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So I have a couple. Let's see. So Jess Ekstrom, tell me about her. Who's Jess?
Yeah, thanks. So this is really fun. As a part of this project, reaching out to people and just getting connected, as mentioned, has been one of the greatest parts of this entire experience. And so I've always been interested with thought leaders. I've always been compelled to meet and connect with those who have a great story to tell. And Jess is one of those incredible examples of someone who has found passion and taken that passion to fuel her fire to do her best work. And Jess is not only a key contributor in a organization that helped to bring light to families that are struggling with childhood illness. She has created an incredible organization to support those families called Headbands of Hope. So definitely check her out. She's built an e-commerce store based on Shopify called Headbands of Hope, and she has helped to raise money to bring a little bit of light and love to families who are currently struggling. In addition, she's an author. She's written the book Chasing the Bright Side, and she will be joining us to talk about chasing the bright side in your own life and how you can use optimism as not just a mood, but a strategy for success. I had an opportunity to sit and talk with her, and she actually dialed in from her Airstream where she writes and is creative and lives with her husband and dog. And I just think, if you don't know Jess, find out how you can support her in Headbands of Hope. Buy her book on Amazon. I'm just saying this as an individual. I love everything she's all about. She is charming, smart, incredibly talented, and I know that if you check her out, you'll be excited to come and watch what she has to talk about at Rethink.
Cool, awesome. So then it's Jai Vargas.
Oh yeah, so
what's about her?
I have just recently met Jai, and she is self-professed LinkedIn ninja. So she also leads up a women's community to support business development, career growth, and really bringing confidence. She has a large network. It's a national network called The Latinista, and you can check out some of her workshops that she is helping to build to bring community support to, again, further career development. And she's just amazing. I enjoyed chatting with her so much because she is a thought leader, she's a speaker, and she's really out there to help bring a voice to her community. So check her out at thelatinista.com and on LinkedIn, of course, because that's where she's doing most of her best work.
Cool. And I know that we're aiming for, I think, over 30 speakers, but just to close off for today, to give people a little bit of a taste, tell us about Sam.
Oh, I will. Sam is absolutely wonderful. And I met Sam through the event industry. He has an incredible company called the Snap Bar that he's built with his brother, and it has a very thriving business in the event industry, bringing photo booths to live events. And during this shift, of course, as we've not been able to gather, he's had the opportunity to think differently about the business that he built, and leveraging the amazing team that he had built. They had to make a quick shift or pivot. So he will talk a lot about some of the decisions that he made in the early startup of Snapbar that he calls potentially some of the mistakes that he made that actually were really great ways of crafting a team, crafting a culture, and putting in the effort to build a solid team so that during any shift, you're able to pivot and really harness that team dynamic to go and build something else. So if you check him out on LinkedIn, you'll see he just posted something incredibly inspiring. In the last 2 months, he was able to launch and fully enact a brand new business concept based on using the talents of his team and some of the core skill sets they already had from building Snapbar. And he's already netted $500,000 in the last 2 months in this brand new company that he's built called Keep Your City Smiling. So check that out as well. They are helping local companies to share their products in gift boxes to help honor cities that are struggling during this time of COVID. I think Sam is incredibly smart and talented. He's just been, lovely to get to know. And I hope that you'll come and listen to his talk because he's going to have a lot of very compelling things to talk about as he helps to educate on pivoting your business during this time.
Awesome. Really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks so much, Marquesa, for taking the time and for trying this out. We as you said, love trying out new things. So This is the first live stream / podcast that we've done. So yeah, I really thank you for being a part of it. And thank you all for tuning in, whether it's live or in the ear. For more information and to make sure that you are able to reserve your spot to the summit, don't forget to head over to rethink2020summit.com. And have a fantastic week, everyone, and to you as well, Marquesa. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you're staying safe, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Okay, goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.